What's up, people? Today we have some stuff to look at, man. Turns out that there was a live stream today. You might be surprised or not surprised. Yeah, probably not surprised to know that I didn't watch it. Okay, they got the date right, so that's cool. Wednesday, June 5th. Yeah. Cool, neat. So yeah, we're gonna review it. Not gonna watch the entire thing. But we're gonna watch bits and pieces. I'd like you guys to kind of help me fill in the gaps to what happened in the live stream itself and all that. So, but yeah, what's up, people? Zafar, first one in here, followed by Lags, Benji, Wedgie. What's up, everybody? We're not gonna waste a whole lot of time. I do want to do a little bit of a check-in here, because I did see one screenshot. This was a W live stream, and maybe I should have chat on screen a little bit while we're doing this. Or, I don't know if that's going to make sense to do. I'll throw it on at certain parts. We'll do that. We'll put it on for certain parts. I don't want to cover up what's on the stream. But it is going to be a lot of kind of talking, news review type stuff going on today. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do in terms of playing. I'm probably going to hit the apothecary. What I was going to say before is that I did see one hint at some very challenging content coming up or something like that. I saw the word Everest thrown around in a screenshot. So it seems like, yeah, might need some revives. I don't know if that's in the immediate future or if that's like next month or 2 months down the line or whatever. But yeah, probably gonna need some resources. So yeah, might just kind of cruise through the apothecary while looking at some of this stuff and then go from there. I don't know. Talk some more, Clarissa. You're not gonna believe this. I'm gonna talk today. I know. Usually I sit here in complete silence, but today I'm ready to speak. I've been resting my voice. Okay, let me see here though. Before we get into any of that, slap oxygen. Thank you so much. Saying feeling down today. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, oxygen. But hopefully that slap makes you feel better, dude. I just kicked you while you're down, almost literally. I slapped you while you're down. You know. Happy to see you and have some positivity today. Hell yeah, dude. Well, I'm not going to say anything as cheesy as let's turn that frown upside down, because sometimes feeling down, sometimes it's okay to feel down, you know? But that's all right, man. That's the way life is sometimes, and at least you got this community to turn to while we kind of wade through the news waters here that Jax is about to tell us about and all that. So they said that'll be in June. Oh, August. I was going to say, dude, it is June. What? Okay, August. Probably something to do with the Legends celebration. That makes sense. Good. Well, does it make sense? Well, I'm just now realizing, like, when does the I guess the celebration was probably back to Brutal's initial clearing of Realm of Legends, because I'm trying to think back to Necropolis was released in November, right? And it was cleared, I mean, instantaneously within like 48 hours or something. Abyss was cleared, I believe, in like the month of, was it like, it was early in the year. It was like January, February, or March or something like that. If I am not mistaken, whatever year that was. Labyrinth of Legends, I believe, was released in like July, but also it was shut down temporarily because people were cruising through it too fast, and then they upped the difficulty and basically nerfed Scarlet Witch and all that. So that wasn't fully cleared, I don't believe, until later when they reopened it. These dates, they're a little bit rough, but this is kind of, you know, I mean, at this point we're going back like 7 years or whenever that came out. Realm of Legends, I don't know when that came out or when it was beaten. Of course, I know Brutal was the first one to clear it, but yeah, was that maybe in August or something like that? Okay, anyway, let's see here. Let's see. Let's adjust that. Let me go hit the apothecary real quick. Ooh, what the? Dude, I like the look of that. I like the look of that, man. That's beautiful. Dude, I love the old school graphics, the arcade cabinet look. They even have like the CRT, you know, the old school TV rather than like the flat screen. Which, don't get me wrong, some of this technology, it's good that it's gone. It's a very good thing that it's gone. But I do love the aesthetic of it all. That is beautiful, man. Okay, let me go ahead and hit the apothecary, though. It's not a new Blank of Legends type content. Oh, I didn't think it would be. It's something new, they said. I was thinking it was going to be a Karina's. Did they say it wasn't going to be like a Karina's either? What I assumed, because I only saw the little screenshot. So what I had assumed it was going to be, and I was curious, I was, you know, interested to learn more, was I was thinking it would be, okay, Necropolis, it's been out for a bit now. It's time to go back for those that have cleared it. And for those that have not cleared it, it's time to get in there for the first time and try to get that, you know, try to get that done for some bonus rewards or something. Oh, we got Crashed in here saying it's a completely new concept. Ooh, okay. Crashed, I did see a screenshot of, looks like you're growing the dew a little bit. Can I interest you in a bald cap, perhaps? No, not quite yet. Okay, that's fair. The hair was looking good from what I saw. Interesting, though. Completely new concept, you say? Okay. Completely new concept. What could that possibly be? I guess there's only one way to know. We'll have to wait and find out. Wait and see. Missed the Kabam stream. Oops, Deej. You and me both. So we're going to be kind of skimming through a little bit here. I'm thinking about a Loki Halloween costume. Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be awesome. Brian, new viewer here. Okay. Michael, you're definitely not a new viewer. What are you talking about? What in the world? Interesting. I'm curious about the Loki costume. Are you doing that costume with anyone else? Is there a whole like Asgard family or something? That's gonna be taking place. But all right, let's skim here a little bit. I mean, I don't even know where to begin because the stream was an hour and a half long. I can't just watch the entire thing because if I was reviewing everything here while watching, we would be here for 3.5 hours at least. So I'm gonna try to jump to when maybe I find like a cool image, and then maybe we'll play part of it or something like that. If there's any key moments that you guys want me to go to, and you have like a rough timestamp, that'd be great. I know it's a lot to ask on such short notice. This is a sweet action figure right here. Okay, so it looks like starting out by reviewing some of the just some of the new champs. We'll maybe check out a couple animations real quick. Justin Gray, thank you very much for the book. Saying, is it time for the talk, BG? Will you see what a daddy loves a mommy very much? Actually, my version of the talk still involves the stork. You see, kids, where babies come from is a bird. Flies over a mountain and through some woods to grandmother's house. And then, you know, that's that. This guy, speaking of Loki, whoa, that was pretty cool. Hold up. Dude, I didn't even notice the flamethrower followed by, oh my. Those buzzsaws. I actually referenced Mega Man earlier today when I was talking to Sim. And those buzzsaws do kind of remind me of Mega Man and like 1,000 other games. But, you know. Anyway. Okay. Alan, thank you very much for the book. Hang on. We got the next path here. Extra revive. Oh ho! Extra revive. Throw me that new content right now. Crashed. I'm ready. Alan, hashtag bald capgate. Okay, here we go. Hashtag justice for the death tree. Hashtag he is awakened. Rank him. I mean, that's fair enough. I did say I just wanted him awakened. But I'm also sitting on like 60,000 7-star shards. And the pool's about to be updated. So I think I might have to wait for the update. And then we'll see who I pull. And then maybe decide from there. I don't know. I might wait on that. I might not. We'll see. James, thank you for the buck as well. Saying, can we please talk about how out-of-date arena shard rewards are below Cavalier quality? You know, I haven't really touched the arena that much, as you know. But you also know very well that I've spent quite some time in there. You know, once upon a time, I would have said they don't need an update. And that wasn't that long ago. You know, these days, eventually, right? Like, eventually, I mean, what happens? We get to 10 stars and the arena rewards are never updated. So eventually you hit a point where they could use a bit of an update. And yeah, we might be at that point. I don't know. I don't know. That's probably a lot of economy work right there. Just to even look at all that stuff and not step on rewards of other modes and stuff like that. At the end of the day, I'm just happy you still get units out of that place. But yeah, those shards probably pretty out of date. PG, WTF is going on at Kabam. I've been working at F-Ton and I haven't been keeping track. Beats me. We're about to try to learn a little bit what's going on. This guy looks super cool though. I'm pretty pumped for him. I actually referenced Loki when no. Did they really just Nickelodeon slime Old Man Logan here? I referenced Loki a little bit when first seeing like the little smoke clouds here and stuff, because I was thinking Loki, he's a trickster. I don't know him from the comics or anything like that, but I'm sure he's done some pretty crazy things. In MCOC, he came out when champions couldn't do that crazy of things. You know, he's still relatively unique in his buff steal mechanic, but at the end of the day, like, I don't know, that's kind of what makes him unique, right? I wonder if Loki was made today, or if they came out with a different Loki. I wonder how he would look. I wonder what sort of trickster-like abilities. Because seeing like some of this stuff, this is just, I don't know. It's a different type of trickster. This really is some Nickelodeon stuff here. But oh my god. Yeah, this guy has all the elements. He's got buzzsaws, magic wands. Oh, he's got some pre-fights. Okay. Some poison cloud stuff. Wait a minute, is this another champion that you didn't have to pop a special 3? Did I just see that? I don't know. I wasn't paying that close of attention. Let's move on a little bit. Just kind of want to see some animations from these guys real quick. Oh, was that a double? Oh no. This guy's got double hits out the wazoo. Oh man. Does look pretty cool. But I have a feeling I'm not going to enjoy this guy that much. Compared to, holy hell! Dude, that was some Dragon Ball Z style attack right there, though. That was pretty sweet. That's cool. I like that. Yeah, you can choose not to throw a special 3. Okay. Well, this stuff is cool. But yeah, I'm more interested in the other game modes and stuff, the other systems, all that stuff. That's more my thing. So, all right, Apothecary's done. Let's try to skim along here, and I will play some audio, but I just wasn't gonna do it for this part. What is this? Hold on a second. Is this the motion comic? It has to be a motion comic. Okay. I cannot play this part because usually these motion comics, they've got not royalty-free music in them, and I've been tagged on that stuff before, unfortunately, and then I had to delete that part of the stream. But this looks super cool. Oh man. Dude, oh my god. I love these graphics. Boo, go back to the old school graphics. Dang, man. You know, I'm a little bummed that they didn't use the collector coin that exists physically in real life. Oh, hey, here we go. We got John here. Or crashed. Sorry. No, but everyone knows you're John, right? So not outing anything. I'm curious. Should we just start tuning in, maybe, to this part?
From the first moment, Mike really helped me understand what the community was and what it needed, and that's been really crucial to my role.
Oh, is this a tribute to Mike section that we just tuned into?
They're already missed. Thank you.
Yeah, well said. John, you've been on the show a number of times, but again,
skipped accidentally.
We're hoping every single show we do, we bring in new eyes. So for anyone who might not know, can you let them know exactly what your role is here?
I'm going to continue skipping along. I just want to find the bits of info. This is good stuff, but again, we're short on time, so we have to skip it along a little bit. Whoa. Hang in there, YouTube. Oh, here we go. Okay. Design goals for arcade games. Maybe I should back up just a hair when we get to this screen. It's probably a good time to tune in. Here's some of this.
James, I'm not able to use my buttons. Are you able to click in, I think, to the window, I think is what we... Perfect. Thank you very much. All right, we've got 3 design goals. This is the intentionality that we like to give you all.
Was that brown bag special?
So you're not asking, hey, why is a thing that way? We're going to tell you right now.
Yeah, so, oh, let me get in here.
There we go. Look at that. Perfect.
Okay, we're good. Yeah, so the first one is simplicity. Basically, I talked about this when I was on the holiday stream. We think that the game has become too big and too complex for the vast majority of our players, so we are going to try to simplify that.
I agree.
The second is approachability. What I mean by this is we want more of our content to be more enjoyable for more players. That doesn't mean that we're going to stop producing hard content. Of course not. We know that there is a group of players who will disengage if they don't have a challenge in the game. But we want more of the content to be doable by more players.
Well, before we even hear more, all 3 of these things are really tied together in such a... like, they just are connected. Part of the approachability issue, I don't think it's necessarily that it's difficult content always. I think it is just things that... again, I kind of talk about... even just like English language terms. You know, the English language is filled with synonyms, words that just, you know, they overlap in what they mean. So to have like, I don't know, cleanse and purify and all the different nullifies and all that stuff, you know, you kind of read that stuff and you're like, oh, this is the same, right? But it's not. It's these keywords that are just like basically mean the same thing, but you know, are defined differently by the game. And even just stuff like that, it just it messes with the simplicity, it messes with the approachability, the clarity, all of it. It's all together. Wait, Crash saying if my voice wasn't dead, I'd hop on Discord call and give you the notes, but unfortunately I could barely talk right now. Oh man, it's all good. It's all good. You already did your job. This is good enough right here. I'm happy that we have this. A lot of people may not even remember a time where this did not exist. These live streams, they were not always a thing. So I appreciate that that these are even something that we can reference and have this back and forth. Well, maybe less so back and forth, but you know what I mean. We can have the actual discussion here, whatever. Your YouTube bar makes me look twice if I had your stream delayed. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's get back to it though.
And so I'll be talking about that specifically as we get into some of the mode changes. There are a lot of them that are coming with arcade games. And the third one is clarity. This is something that we're going to have to work on over the course of the year. But basically the idea is to provide a more consistent value proposition. Why should I be doing these different pieces of content? You'll see improvement with that over the course of Arcade Games, and then over the rest of the year there are going to be some additional features that we're building to sort of like clarify the rewards in different places, make our events easier to understand, and those types of things. So these are the 3 design goals. You will see basically this threaded throughout all the changes I'm going to talk about today.
Yeah.
So I should also real quick mention that even though I was talking about champion abilities and stuff like that, clearly that's not like those things aren't changing. It's just that the arcade games, these are the goals for those. So that's good, because that is something that can actually be improved. Whereas like the champion abilities and stuff like that, those are kind of set. So there's already enough of a hurdle there. So if you could at least make the rest of the game follow some of these goals, I think that goes a long way.
No, I'm really looking forward to this, and we've already sort of seen this shift towards simplicity. I used last month's side quest as an example. It was very straightforward. The team did a great job of trying to simplify and make everything right in front of your face of where the value proposition is, like you've said. So again, we're going to kind of continue that over the next 3 months, and I'm excited for it. Moving along here, why don't you take us through the lore there?
Sure, I'm just going to say a little bit about this. This is kind of going to be told over the course of the 3-month saga, but basically Arcade is coming to the contest, and with him his murder worlds, which are basically assassination theme parks that the summoners will be venturing forth in.
I still think it's kind of crazy that we're even able to add something called Murder World in Marvel, which I'm sure is from the comics and everything, but I don't know. It's a crazy title to have in this game. That's something not Deadpool related, at least.
Over the course of the next 3 months.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very cool. I also enjoy that we got murder through the censor and ran with it, and everyone was like, use it as liberally as possible. Because like I'm writing comms and I'm like, oh no, it's not when you kill someone in a fight, it's when you defeat someone or KO someone. And then we're like, Murder World! And I'm like, okie dokie. So everybody welcome to Murder World.
Yeah, so I guess there's a reason that the saga is called Arcade Games. But I will say that I'm very excited about that, because we're going to use that play on words very liberally. There's going to be a bunch of old school arcade references, a bunch of really amazing sort of 16-bit style art.
Yeah.
My favorite kind.
Yeah,
16-bit, hell yeah.
Really good.
Cool. I'm really looking forward to it. I also wanted to shout out Fearless Girl 123, who is currently recruiting for their alliance in the Twitch chat. So if you guys want to join DCM1 Alliance, apparently they're looking for people, and I think that might be the first time I've seen that.
I gotta go, you guys. I gotta join that alliance.
Look at this. Look at how beautiful this art is.
The art looks amazing.
I know.
There's going to be so much art like this, some absolutely incredible profile pictures that our team's working on. As usual, they absolutely killed it. I just want to say actually a huge thank you to everyone on the team who worked on Arcade Games. Getting these sagas out the door is a huge team-wide collaboration. And as we do more of them, we will get better at it, and they will get better. So thank you to everyone who worked on this.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. We talked a little bit about it yesterday, that like, the saga lasts 3 months. So to a summoner, that might feel like sitting in that saga is a long time. But in terms of like game development, that flies by, that disappears. So it's kind of a bit of a learning curve for summoners to see, yes, we are listening and we're learning and we're developing, but it doesn't happen as quick because of the timeline of game development in general. So.
Real quick, I was actually thinking about, every once in a while, I just drop some feedback aimed at like the devs and like the content creator chats. And I thought about sharing some feedback about the sagas, but I feel like it wouldn't be that helpful, so I never did. But my take on Saga so far is conceptually I like it, but as someone that's like not involved in all the modes, I almost feel a little left out, which is probably for the best. I think it's probably a fine line between having like a strong theme that you want to really be encouraged into, and feeling forced and feeling like you cannot play any champion that isn't Saga. So I think it's actually the right balance, but I'm a little bit jealous of the people that are like, shaking up their Alliance war teams as much as they are, or ranking as aggressively in battlegrounds and things like that. It was fun doing the incursion run, but I feel like that's the only, I don't know, it's not the only Saga related thing that I did, because there was like the Power Gauntlet and stuff, but I don't know, those are smaller things. The incursion thing was the only thing that really felt significant in my Saga experience. But overall, I still like it, and yeah, it's probably about where it should be. Kind of curious to see what changes going into future sagas.
Again, I know we've already gone through this presentation, and I'm excited for you all to see it because there's a lot of lessons learned and changes moving forward that I think you're going to like a lot.
Absolutely. So first, we're just going to talk very briefly about the tactic. This is already in game.
I think we're going to skip ahead of the tactic stuff. If you're into, because I mean, this is just Alliance War stuff, right? Or is it? Well, hold on. Let's play it a little bit longer, I guess.
So I'm not going to say too much about it, but basically, House of Mirrors, the defensive tactic here, has auto block and evade threats, and then Clarity basically has ways to address those. So we'll see how it goes. I am excited for it. I think it's going to strike a better balance than Ex Magica and Magic Thief did. It remains to be seen. We'll see how War goes, but I think it's going to be more approachable than the last tactic.
Okay,
yeah,
I
think so too. And like you said, I think for some people, especially highly engaged.
So I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit, just because, like I said, sake of time. This is on the YouTube live stream, or probably at the Twitch VODs too. It looks like these are the champs. We saw an infographic from Kat earlier, so I'm gonna kind of skip ahead. I do think it's interesting that some champs repeat. Of course, they kind of have to, but you really get a lot of value out of some of the absolute powerhouses like Bullseye, or whatever. But yeah, move it along a little bit. Okay, so I didn't skip anything, I don't think, right?
Something about side quests. I'm not going to talk about the specifics, but the idea here is that we want to make them simpler. I talked about this on our holiday stream again. Trying to move more of the rewards from events and objectives into the quests themselves, because that's easier for summoners to understand.
Good.
Having fewer overall of those objectives and events for each of the different side quests.
Yeah.
I really hate all that stuff, by the way. So I can't speak for Kabam as to why it is separated so much like that. But from my perspective, it feels entirely like some sort of, I don't even know what the right word for it is. I don't know if I should label it some sort of retention, goal or something, of just like having people dig through all the different menus to make sure you're not missing something, and then, spending time that way, and then having to double, triple check and all that stuff. Or I don't know. I don't know what the reasoning behind it is to not just shove it in a quest. Maybe it is just a technical limitation where, I don't know. I'm sure there's different reasons for different months, but I have a little bit of a cynical view on it because I hate it so much, and to me it just doesn't make sense. But maybe if I saw the behind the scenes, maybe it wouldn't be a cynical outlook on it. But my God, I'm happy that it's at least being moved away from a little bit. We'll see what that looks like going forward, I guess.
I really want the side quest to be something that if you have 5 minutes to play our game, you can pick up your phone and play it.
I love that.
Good.
I don't want it to be something that you can accidentally mess up. And so
Good.
You'll see our designs trending in this direction. Again, it can't happen all at once. I think what some summoners don't understand is we work many months ahead. So when I was talking about doing this on that holiday stream, now we're starting to see some of those changes in game, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like we're currently working on sort of like the August, September side quests. And then there's some updated rewards as well. So very excited to see that. There's some Titan shards in there now, more 7-star shards, and more stuff for summoners all along the progression. So
yeah, no, I think it's fantastic to see. And like I said, there is a lot of there's a lot of 7-stars in there. You're able to get in there, or 7-star shards. You're able to get, I think, like 1.5 full 7-star just from the side quest this month. I think, if I did math, or maybe just shy of one. There's a lot. You're getting a big leap forward in your 7-star progression. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun for a lot of people.
Yeah, also something to note for players is our new Cavalier crystal tuning that gets rid of the 3 stars will be featured in the meta shard crystals moving forward. So
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot more 4 stars and therefore ISO in those.
Yeah.
For anybody that's short of that right now.
We adjusted drop rates for a lot of our crystals. A lot of them, I mean, any adjustments we made swung in a very positive direction in terms of higher end acquisition for our summoners. So I think that's very, very exciting. Hop in the game, take a look at all of those new drop rates. They are, again, they're great.
Crashed. Crashed. I don't know if you're still in here or not. Maybe you're maybe part of ways. Are the old crystals updated? I would imagine they are not. Typically they are not, but there have been some instances where old crystals have been updated with the new drop rates. But they're usually like the premium hero crystals were updated a couple of times, I believe. They are not. Okay. I figured they wouldn't be. For most people, that doesn't matter at all. Yeah, most people I imagine aren't hoarding crystals like I am, and I kind of am maybe a little bit happy that they're not updated, just because I do want to play the Cav for mod game, and well, that would change things. But yeah, I'll have to mix and match some new and old, maybe give people some better chances. But okay, all right, had to ask.
Moving 3 stars up to 4 stars, like it's definitely a big move in your favor. So we hope you're excited for that too. All right, this is an exciting time.
Would probably need to hire an intern just to do that. Holy hell. I guess there's a lot of crystals. Dang.
We have our new featured chase champ. Everybody had...
Dude, the background, the entire image. This looks so good. Oh my god. Captain Marvel doesn't look this good in game, right? Because damn, this looks awesome. And then, you know, seeing it on this more pixelated background, it's so cool. Damn.
Fervor towards Nightcrawler in the first Saga. It was very cool.
Also, I'm not as excited about this champion personally. I was never that into Cap Marvel. You bet your ass I'm going to be trying to get her as a 7-star still from all this, because, dude, free 7-star, exclusive 7-star. Yeah, of course. But I was never that into this Cap Marvel. I know some people really like her, and I'm sure she'll be doing some pretty cool things for some people, but eh.
Of course, pairing that with a buff, we said, don't expect a buff for every single one of these chase champs. We take a look here, and we now have Captain Marvel, what we refer to as, since there's 2, Captain Marvel movie on occasion. Can you walk me through the process of choosing Captain Marvel as our chase champion for the Saga?
Sure. So Captain Marvel was released as a 7-star alongside the release of the movie last year, The Marvels. But the only place to get her was in, basically, we created a featured Paragon crystal, which was a photon Captain Marvel featured Paragon crystal.
Yeah.
And the only way to get her was to open those crystals. I opened a bunch of those crystals and got neither Photon nor Captain Marvel as it goes. But I was looking at the champion ownership rates for 7-star champions late last year or early this year. And Captain Marvel is by far the lowest owned of available 7-stars. Like, it's not even close. She looks kind of like Punisher does at 6-star. Very, very few summoners have her. I think she's great. So wanted to give them an opportunity to collect her. And Arcade Games with her as a tactic attacker, I thought was the perfect opportunity to do that.
Yeah, very cool. And of course, even more awesome pixel style retro inspired art here on screen, which I think is super duper exciting. Now these Magnetron crystals, we'll dive a little bit more into this. Maybe I'll just go on the next slide. Yeah, sure. Perfect. Let's dive in here on these Magnetron crystals.
Yeah, so
oh, dude. Even the rank up, these are the rank up gems. Oh my god. I'm never going to use those, you guys. I'm going to hoard those till the end of time. Okay, we should probably just let Crash explain this, but just kind of eyeing some of this up real quick. Okay, so first off, I like that it's only 100 needed rather than 120, just simpler. I understand that it can't always work out that way, but that's nice. Oh, wait. Oh, this is the solo event. Okay, well, all right, never mind. I am going to let explain because this looks a little different than Nightcrawler. Okay, hold on.
The way that it works is, for Ex Magica, you were collecting runestones, which were essentially just a currency. You trade them in the store for a Nightcrawler. We wanted to do something different for the second saga, and so we came up with this idea of opening these Magnetron crystals, which are effectively Paragon crystals. They do have a chance to drop the 7-star Captain Marvel. And then opening those, you make progress through this solo event, and if you collect enough of them, you can make it to the end of the solo event and collect a guaranteed 7-star Captain Marvel.
I'm sure we're going to hear, but if those have to be purchased crystals, then that's not going to be as fun as collecting the runestones from Nightcrawler, so hopefully you can get enough of those crystals for free. I guess let's find out.
Yeah, the solo event looks quite similar to the Magic Heist Arena solo event. There's some 6 stones rank up gems. There is that 1 to 2, 7-star 1 to 2 rank up gem, which we didn't have in the first saga. And so, yeah, I thought this was just like a much more interesting, interactive way to source Sorcerer than to just do a currency.
Yeah, I think we've talked about kind of taking lessons learned and making adjustments. It seems like this is very inspired by...
I honestly love the currency for Nightcrawler. I thought it was cool. This seems like it could be good too, but I really didn't mind the currency concept for Nightcrawler. It just kind of reminded me of... I mean, it's good that it was called Runestones, because if it was just like, I don't know, lumped in with the other currencies, because to me it felt a little different, just having them called like Runestones, even though, yes, they are just a currency. But it kind of reminded me of like some old school games where, I don't know, some magic sword shattered into 100 pieces all around the world, and you have to collect them. And then once you collect them, boom, you form this thing. It gave me those kind of vibes. So it didn't feel transactional with the currency because of the ways you got them. You could buy them, but you also like did things in all different areas of the game. So I don't know. That felt really good to me, actually.
Omega Days, which we know players loved being able to hop in there and chase crystals. Is that kind of what we've started to look at here?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's kind of a hybrid of those two different events. So if you are Paragon or Valiant, you will be able to collect enough crystals to get to the top of this. If you are below there, you won't be able to make it through all these milestones. But keep in mind that those Magnetron crystals are effectively Paragon crystals. So if you're an uncollected player collecting those Paragon crystals, you're probably going to get some 5- and 6-star champions that you don't already have out of them as well. So the crystals themselves will also hold some value for you.
Sorry, just reading anti-pride rhetoric in our chat. Hey, if you think it's cool to come in here and stand in the face of Pride Month, I think you need to read a room. And you might see your way out of this one pretty soon. So, sorry, I got distracted. I love being rewarded for being rewarded. You know what I mean? These are opening crystals. You're popping things and getting new champs for your roster. And then as you're getting more from the solo event. So I think that's really awesome. I think that's why so many people connected with the Omega Days event and that sort of stuff as well. So I'm really looking forward to people getting their hands on this. Let's show them where they'll be able to get all these crystals. And again, there's a lot of learnings with this as well. So
okay, this is what I was waiting for. And this already seems good. Quantity 104. So it looks like not going to, but wait, okay, free track, excellent. See, I will say though, so this is probably a better tie-in from like a business perspective or something, I would imagine. And I'm not trying to take a cynical approach on this one. I think you have to, do stuff like that, right? But I'm not saying it's a bad thing necessarily, but if you notice, where is the largest source of these? 10, 10, 10, 5, 5, 5, 30, 5, 14, 10. 30 is in the, it's on the free track, yes. But the whole point of that free track is to be like, hey, you're getting the free track. You want to bump that up? You want to, how about you get the premium track or something, Whereas it doesn't feel quite as satisfying to me as like the biggest source of them for Nightcrawler was doing the incursion push. And I was like, oh dang, dude, okay, we're here. We're climbing the mountain. This is the, you know, this is it. This is how we're gonna like acquire this super strong thing. So it doesn't feel quite as satisfying to be like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna log in, or maybe do like 2 fights or something, and then I'll collect these for free. It's not the same, but overall, this still looks pretty good. So it's not really a complaint per se, just a preference of what I like to see in games, but not necessarily a bad thing here. Let's hear them explain a little.
Let John explain. Don't read things and jump to conclusions.
Absolutely.
Whoops! Already jumped to some conclusions. Okay.
So as I mentioned, there's going to be quite a few changes to the way that we source these things. So the first change that you will notice is that you need 100 to complete the event, and there are 104 earnable total. So there are a few extras. So if you miss 1 or 2.
I also do really like that. I did notice that right away. I didn't say it, but there were like you couldn't really do that with Nightcrawler, and that didn't feel so good. So having a little bit of extra, that does feel pretty good.
Somewhere along the way, so at the end of the world, you could now still complete the event. There's going to be a large helping in the side quest. We call them meta events internally, so that's why they say meta here. In the side quest, there's 30 in the double track event that we're going to be talking about later. Those are all in the free track of the double track. You can collect all of those for free. And then there are some in the Alliance War Encounter Showcase and Battlegrounds and Incursions, but I'm going to talk about how we adjusted the way that we were sourcing this type of thing in those modes to make them more accessible to more players. I will be talking about each of those modes specifically and changes that we're making for arcade games.
Yes, we will be talking about them because I already see people saying, stop with Battlegrounds. But hey, you're going to like what's coming here.
Hey, I'm just noticing in the chat, I must have missed this. Guys, we don't need to discuss any sort of religious stuff or anything. Like, just keep that stuff out of here. If you're trying to push for, it's okay that they can't cover everything. So I see someone being a little upset that Pride Month is included, but certain holiday isn't, or something like that. They include as much as they possibly can. Look at the champions from all around the world. You know, this game doesn't need to serve as your like your holiday experiences and stuff like that. It's a game. They include as much as they possibly can, and that's it. So we don't need to really discuss it any further than that. Okay. Real quick, while we got it paused, boss, thank you very much for the buck saying I love the change because I was busy last couple months. Missed out on Nightcrawler, but got lucky and already have Cap Marvel day 1. Dang, dude. Really? You got Cap Marvel day 1? What the heck? That's pretty awesome. Well, boss, congrats on that. That is pretty nutty. BG, you see the raid changes? I did not. I guess we're gonna, if that's in here, we'll get to it. Okay, let's continue. They need to include me as a champ? Okay, fair enough.
So again, worth noting, you have access to 104 crystals. You need access to 100 crystals. James, I lost my clicky clicks. Boom, thank you very much. Again, you need 100 crystals to clear this solo event. We're giving you 104 just by looking through this table, this chart here. So let's talk about some of these big changes because they're going to be very exciting.
Sure. So first up is the Alliance War Encounter Showcase. So the Alliance War Encounter Showcase will always be a Saga behind, because basically what we're doing is we're taking the tactic and important fights from those Alliance War seasons and putting them into a quest once that season is over. So we're going to be making some pretty substantial changes to the Alliance War Encounter Showcase, which we call AWES. That align with those overall Saga goals. Specifically for Alliance War Encounter Showcase, we're looking to reduce the difficulty a little bit overall, and then highlight and reinforce the Saga, not just the tactics. So what we mean by that is, for instance, using some of those Alliance War tactic defenders on attack throughout.
Yeah.
throughout the showcase.
That's really cool. I like that. I like that approach. There's more to go. I know I'm interrupting your flow, but just go.
That's fine.
I'm just excited.
You're not interrupting. You're chatting. So in terms of some specific notable changes, there are some new beneficial nodes that simulate war boosts. So summoners who play high-tier war will know that you use things like the White Magneto pre-fight and different boosts in war to get through some of the more challenging fights. We've now created some nodes that will simulate that in the Alliance War Encounter Showcase to make those fights feel more like they do in Alliance War. We've avoided the toughest tactic defenders, Serpent, Killmonger, and Bullseye.
Oh, thank goodness. I don't want to have to deal with Serpent, even though dealing with APOC in the Spring of Sorrow challenge, it did teach me how to fight APOC, so that's good. But I'll keep avoiding Serpent for the time being, so that's pretty good. Okay. Yeah. All right. Anyway, words. I'm gonna ask you one more time, just to let it go. You can certainly feel the way you want to feel, and no one's gonna take that from you. But you gotta let it go, man. Thank you very much. Okay.
The most obvious boss.
Sorry, to be more exact, you gotta let it go when it comes to the chat here. You can keep whatever thoughts about that stuff elsewhere. Thank you very much.
For this would have been a tactic Bullseye boss, as players would have seen a bunch in Alliance War. We decided to spare summoners that. I personally am thankful for that.
I'm also very grateful because when they yell at me. So thank you for not going that direction.
Yeah, no problem. And finally, reducing the energy cost. It was 5 per step last time. It's going down to 3 per step, and we've increased the reward. So there is a Deathless Vision piece, as well as some of those Magnetron crystals in the rewards. We have moved those to completion, so you only have to do the quest once. You can take a look at the 2 different paths, figure out which one is best for you and your roster, and just do it once. And then we've added some Titan shards to exploration. So the end effect of these changes is that the Alliance War Encounter Showcase will be easier and be more rewarding the next time it comes around.
Okay, that's cool. Also, I guess I said APOC instead of Onslaught again. Whoops. I do that all the time. Yeah. Okay, I'll let it go, Brian. Thank you, words. That's it. I'm not even going to read the rest of it. We just let it go and we just move on from here. That's it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be great. Like you said, moving things to completion, I think, is a big move, a big positive for everybody. But still incentivizing exploration with Titan shards, I think it's kind of a double whammy, double positive for our community. So I know the first one, like you said, it was our first attempt at something. We're going to take a lot of learnings and move forward, so I'm excited for people to get their hands on this as well. I believe we do have a slide showcasing dates, approximate dates for these types of things, because they will be out over the next 3 months as the saga progresses. So we'll give you a little bit of info, and then as we get closer, we're going to make sure that you guys are up to date on that stuff too. So let's take a look at incursions here. Hey,
part of me, I don't know how you guys would feel. Part of me, it would be kind of cool to have like a little bit of an infographic roadmap for each saga, but at the same time, getting too much info in advance is, I don't know, it takes away some of like the surprise of what's coming. So I don't know if that'd be a good thing or a bad thing. Hard to kind of say, but of course, like I do want that info, but yeah. Anyway.
John, how have the incursions looked in the last week or so in this challenge incursions mode?
Well, we had that little issue with the build rollover earlier this week. In general, Ex-Magicka's incursions have been difficult. We knew that champion restrictions in incursions was going to be hard. We knew that it was going to be more difficult, and now it's pretty clear that it's a lot more difficult. And so we are going to be making some changes again to incursions to make it more approachable to more players. That doesn't mean it's going to be easy. The intent of this isn't to make it easy, but it's to find a better balance between sort of challenge and frustration. I think Ex-Magicka incursions leaned a little bit too far towards that frustration side. So in terms of specific changes, the Saga challenge sector will now only be 15 zones. The same node profiles as the existing Sector 6. So what that means is basically sectors 1 through 15 in the challenge sector will have the same number of nodes as the current sectors zones 1 through 15.
Right.
There's slightly increased defender attack and health compared to the existing ones.
Yeah, looking to still find that balance, right? Bringing down a lot of zones, but still making it that you're not just running through everything.
Exactly. Those first zones are pretty much gimmies with the current tuning, so they'll be a little bit harder. But of course, there will be the 5-minute champion refreshes, so if you get stuck in one of those first zones, you can easily just restart. The effect of
Right off the bat, I like this, but I have a question. So it's being reduced down to 15 zones from 25, right? Technically, we could have stopped at like 20 to get all the rune stones, but it was still till 25 for the rewards. So I'm assuming it's not like do 15 and you get some credit and then push to 25 to get like a bonus item or something like that. It seems like it's just 15. But I am slightly curious about that. Okay. Crash, you said great idea about the roadmap with a winky face. Is there actually a roadmap? Are we about to see that later on here or something?
this is that doing this will be slightly harder than the current zones 1 through 15, but it is going to be much, much, much easier than doing the full 25 zones.
Rewards stop at zone 15. Okay, cool. That is, for those listening at home, that is Kabam confirmed.
In Ex Magica was. We're also changing a number of the nodes so that they scale off attacker rather than defender health. If you don't understand how these nodes work, this might not make sense, but to explain it very briefly, the biohazard node,
good
which puts
change.
damage over time effects on the attacker, used to scale off the size of the defender, and because Incursions defenders scale so large, you could get like a bleed
massive,
that would
right?
just tick for like 10% of your health.
This is a really good change. Incursions, man, it's like so close to being really, really good. And it's so hard to pinpoint exactly what's holding it back. Because in general, I think it's a lot of fun. It might just be the nature of the game and the nature of like there being so many different modes and not being able to like fully dig into incursions outside of just like a one-off run every once in a while, and then you kind of find your champs and you sort of settle in, versus other games that have similar types of systems where you are really encouraged not to just run once, but like go again and again and again and again and try all sorts of different things, all sorts of different characters. Maybe it's something to do with that. I don't know. But I will say one of the things that I think was holding it back is exactly this. The type of scaling in this game, like it has to scale. It has to scale to crazy levels. Otherwise, you'll be in there forever. So it's kind of a good thing that the game at some point is just like, we're kicking you out. And doing so pretty forcefully with, crazy sets of nodes and defender scaling and stuff like that. But there were some things that felt really unfair, and I'm happy that Kabam is like picked up on a bunch of these, so that's good. Looks like some of these are getting removed. We'll give it back to John here to explain some of that.
Yeah.
Every tick. So that's going to change. It's going to make those nodes much easier to play your way through. We've removed some of the more limiting nodes as well as some of the more niche RPG champions like Photon and Maestro. We did initially plan to release a Deathless Vision piece as part of Incursions. We have decided to move that for now. We might return Deathless pieces and other things like that to Incursions once we find that balance. We'll see how it goes. If this is too easy, we might lean a little bit back in the other direction for the next Saga. But it's definitely going to be a lot easier than Ex Magica was. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a ton of fun. There are Magnetron crystals in here, but they're in the first 10 zones. They'll be basically any endgame player looking to collect those should be able to get the first 10 zones done.
Yeah, you don't have to clear all 15. Again, additional rewards await, but in terms of this chase for Captain Marvel, only the first 10 zones. And again, I think you touched on a lot of very important things, looking for that sweet spot between challenging and frustrating. So like you said, we're going to continue to iterate, we're going to continue to learn and grow. That doesn't...
Hold on. I see someone in the chat saying, is the audio cutting for anyone, or is that Is that just me? Is that just Victor? Is there any kind of audio issues? I'm kind of juggling some audio stuff on my end, so I might be messing it up. But that means I kind of need to know if I'm doing it wrong so I could fix it. Yeah, I don't know if I am doing something wrong. Audio is good? Okay. Okay, thank you guys. Okay.
Necessarily mean that things are always getting easier. We are looking for that sweet spot, so if we find that it's done in 5 minutes and people are getting through it real quick, we might bring it back up. So as is the challenge of our
Be a
game.
bit louder?
Often.
Okay.
Indeed.
Looking at raids here, I know some people have seen some changes as we have enlistment up earlier this week, so we've got some changes to raids. I think that people are looking forward to it.
Yeah, speaking of done in 5 minutes, the current difficulty of raids is definitely a little bit too easy. We are seeing alliances blow through it. The intent for raids is for it to be a challenge, and so this new raids update is going to be harder than the current map. It's not going to be as hard as the initial release of raids. Again,
good. I'm a little concerned just about. I'll let Crash say, but just before he even gets into it, I'll say that yeah, man, I think raids as they are right now, I agree they're probably significantly easier than what Kabam intended, especially for something that has like a cost associated with it. You think like, oh, this is gonna be so crazy or something. I don't know, but at the same time. Yeah, I don't know. MCOC just doesn't feel like the type of game to have too high of a bar of difficulty for coordinated PvE style events. And I don't know, there might be a way to pull it off, but I mean like coordinated as in like all 10 people in your battle group, or 9 technically. You don't need 10, but coordinate between 9 people in your battle group. Really, you're broken down into smaller sections of 3. But the fact that you are still reliant on the other, teams of 3 within the battle group, and then the other teams of 3 in the entire alliance. I don't know. I really think they should keep it on the easier side. But anyway, all right, that's enough of me talking. Let's hear what Crash has to say on it.
and the goal is to find the sweet spot here between something that's challenging but still approachable for the players who want to do it. There's new bosses, new role boosts, bigger role pools, and new boss mechanics. Damage over time champions are getting some love. Currently, they aren't viable in raids. They will be with this update. There are updated rank rewards, so it is getting a little bit harder. But it will be more rewarding as well. And there are also Valiant loot drops. So those path rewards where you choose between a Paragon and the other drop, there's now a Valiant option. The floor of those drops has been brought up significantly from where it was.
Yeah.
Wait, so Ultron is available here. And according to what Crash said earlier, Cap Marvel is rarer than Ultron, huh? I wonder how... Crash, are you able to say how many people have Ultron? Or is that something that you don't really want to share necessarily? We'll I'm not going to wait for your answer. We'll just keep going. You can just ignore if you don't want to answer. It's okay.
So it will be more rewarding for players as well as they make their way through this. We'll see how it goes. I think it's next week, raid week. So
yeah,
excited to see how that goes.
Excuse me, I'm really excited. Of course, people are already seeing the kind of changes to new additions of champs to the pools, which I think is fantastic. People are looking forward to maybe bringing in some of their other favorites that they weren't able to use previously. I think that's rad. Also wanted to call out Migs, who says sick background. Yeah, this is a lot of the art that we're going to be seeing in the arcade games.
I do love it too.
It's going to be very, very cool. Again, I really hope that our art team had a blast with it, because seeing it, it seems like a labor of love. Like, to me, this reads as someone who was like, I loved playing arcade games growing up. I have this job, and now I get to make retro-inspired stuff. Oh, it just seems like passion all the way through. Also worth calling out, one of our mods mentioned to me that we have more info on the crystal drop rates.
Ooh, okay. We have a little bit of an update from Crash here saying, I'm not on my work computer, but I believe there are roughly 500 Ultrons in the wild. Dang, that's not that many. I don't know what number I was expecting. Maybe it was about that, because I was thinking probably under 1,000, but I didn't know how much below 1,000. So, Yeah, that's roughly about where I was expecting, but it's cool info. Appreciate you sharing it.
Coming out on Friday. Keep an eye out for that on our blog and the in-game news panel. It will give you a more obvious one-to-one comparison of what we had versus what we'll have coming up. So let's keep it going here because we got some big changes. This is a happy one. I think a lot of people are going to be excited about.
Yeah, so big changes to Battlegrounds. I'm going to be on stream, I believe, next Friday to talk more about the victory.
Dude, I thought Crash was about to say I'm going to be on stream wrecking fools while making my way to the gladiator circuit. That'd have been so good. You should do that one stream. Just be like, yeah. So anyway, next stream, if anyone wants to throw down, I'll see your ass in the battlegrounds, where you're gonna get totally stomped out by my 7-star rank 3 roster. You know, that'd be great.
Victory track changes. Summoners got a little preview of that in the patch notes. Some very, very large changes to the way the victory track works. I will be back to talk about that. In terms of the Saga chase itself, there are Magnetron crystals. We have put them in the objectives this time. So those objectives that spawn every 2 days, the win one objective will now have a Magnetron crystal in it for season 19. It's only one season. There are 14 of those, so there are 14 total crystals available. A couple things. Number one, those objectives do not stack. Okay.
Yeah, I don't share in the Jax's woo right there. I typically do try to rack up as many of those milestones as possible, but yeah, I don't necessarily love that I'm gonna feel like I really have to, because I already feel like I'm in Battlegrounds more than I necessarily. I don't know. They're like, I love the Battlegrounds. It's the game mode that I spend the most time in, but I want to be there because I want to be there, and I don't want to feel like I'm missing out because for, you know, next week I'm going to be focused on a challenge, and the week after that, you know, like I'll play some Battlegrounds on the weekend, but then after that I want to do another challenge or something, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, having it tied to those 48-hour objectives, don't particularly love that. On milestones, you only need to win one game every 2 days. It's not that bad. Don't get me wrong. It's just I would still prefer to see it done in a different way. But that's just my preference. It's not like a total deal breaker, but yeah. Okay. Anyway.
You have to do it every 2 days. Again, there are 4 extra crystals, so if you miss a couple along the way, it's not the end of the world. So that's something we learned from the Magic Heist Arena, right?
The objectives do not stack.
Yeah.
Tell your friends, don't yell at me about it later. They never have. This is not a change, and you deal with this every season, but I think we need to make sure you know. Objectives don't stack.
The objectives don't stack. So all that you need to do to collect all of the Saga Chase is win one Battlegrounds match every 2 days during Season 19.
That's awesome.
A lot easier than finishing the victory track.
Yeah.
So again, for me, it's not going to be that big of a deal probably, but I do think about winning a Battleground match every other day and what that means for some people. And again, it's not like the end of the world. Oh no, you have to play a video game every couple days or whatever. But like, I don't know, you still have to be like in the right mindset to approach any PvP game. You know, at this point, I'm so comfortable in PvP games. I don't care. I'm not embarrassed when I lose. I don't know, it's just fun or whatever. But dude, there were times where I was playing Warcraft 3, which is a real-time strategy game, not to be confused with World of Warcraft. That's right, it's not a World of Warcraft tangent. It's its predecessor, Warcraft 3. That it took such a level of nerve to hit the queue up button for a ranked match. And like, I was just sweating throughout that entire experience. I've never experienced anything quite like it since. And I don't know. I just imagine some people, there was nothing on the line back then, even. It was just, you go up or down in your ranking or whatever. It's not even any rewards. It's purely cosmetic. And in this game, it doesn't matter if you lose either, but there's still something to that, where like if you're not prepped, if you're busy that day and you just want to sit down and you just want to play a little bit, I don't know. That's the one type of mode that not everyone's really gonna be on board with playing all the time. And that's not to say it shouldn't be part of the Saga experience, because I do think it should be part of the Saga experience. I would just prefer if people were allowed maybe like a weekly cadence rather than a 48-hour one. That way, on a weekly cadence, there's probably one day throughout that week where, maybe you aren't dealing with the stresses of life and you are able to focus on the actual matches rather than, I don't know, trying to play a match while cooking dinner or something like that, because you just got home from school and you can quickly, scarf down some food before going to work at night or something, right? Like, I don't know. It's everyone's day to day is so different, but anyway, I'd prefer to see like a weekly cadence on it, but let's continue.
Now, there is still a Deathless Vision piece at the end of the victory track in Season 19, but again, I will be back next week to talk about how that is going to be much more accessible than the Deathless, it was a guillotine piece that was in Battlegrounds a number of seasons ago.
Yeah. I think these are big wins. And again, the information that you're going to come back and discuss, like you said, people have seen in patch notes a little bit. I know that's got some coverage from our content creators as well, which I think is great. I think we want to bring you back to chat about it because it can be interpreted as a negative. If you're missing some key details, you might not see the full benefit to it here. So we want to have a conversation with you all leading into the next Battleground season so that you can see the full positive that this is, because it really, really is for basically everybody.
Yeah, so I'll be back and I will talk specifically about how your experience is going to change based on what your current win rate is in the victory track. So
exactly.
We can talk about that.
I'm really looking forward to it. That'll be a lot of fun. I know that there's a decent amount of frustration that's natural with a competitive mode in an otherwise not competitive game, aside from Alliance Wars. But the truest one-to-one competition, I know, can bring out a lot of frustrations in people. So I think being able to aid them along in their journey and being able to chat about that is going to be very, very enjoyable. So we will just keep rolling here. We got our Deathless Vision. All
right, before we get into the Deathless Vision stuff, Dysentery Joe, thank you very much for the buck, saying, I'm super not playing poker and drinking and on a smoke break. Dysentery Joe, well, I hope you're not super down at the moment. I hope you're winning, man. I hope the chips are up. He also said Wartime 3, ugh, Oregon Trail is the real sweat. Oh, man. Okay, yeah, Warcraft 3, now I see. I was like, what is Wartime 3? Can you ford the river? Will you get dysentery? No one knows. Wow. It's true. I mean, no one knows. Will you get dysentery? I can't argue with that. Dysentery Joe, thank you very much for the buck. Good luck in your poker games and drinking.
Chatted about this a little bit last month, of course, giving you some insight. We had some question marks that we have since confirmed otherwise. So, John, what about this stands out to you here?
Sure. So I believe summoners had seen most of this, but the main change is the final piece there, the Deathless Gem. Again, this was initially slated for Arcade Games Incursions.
You know what? Never mind. I'm not even going to interrupt. Let's just continue.
The reason that we didn't announce that was because I wanted to wait to see how Ex Magica Incursions went before we committed to that. And as a result of how Ex Magica Incursions went, we decided to move that piece for now. So we have moved that to a new concept Everest quest that's going to be coming in August. So summoners remember last August we did a boss rush. This August we're doing something completely new. It has a little new piece of tech. It's a much larger endeavor, but much more novel, much more unique. And I'm really excited to see how summoners tackle this. I can tell you, from my perspective, from an execution standpoint, it will be easier than what we consider current Everest contest, Winter of Woe, and things like the Necropolis. From a planning and roster demand perspective, it will be heavier than those modes. So I'm very excited to see this. It's a completely new concept. I'm not saying it's going to be easier than doing incursions, but obviously there's no RNG involved with it. So it will be more controllable by the summoner whether they decide to chase this piece or not.
Yeah.
Crashed, you just told everyone to hoard your resources, at least as we approach August. At least that's what I heard. I don't know if that's what you guys heard, but I heard more roster depth, where you might need to have a few more champs ranked up potentially, and maybe reserve some resources for that. Sounds interesting. I don't want to ask too many questions. I am curious if this is permanent content, if that's something that you want to share or not, or if this has to be completed in August, and it is a timed thing for a month or a couple weeks or whatever, or is it joining the likes of, will it sit right next to the 7-star quest here in special quests, shooting stars? I couldn't think of the name. No, Brian, saying that we should rank up and ascend our green goblin. The answer is yes. Oh, God. But I asked 2 questions. Okay. Let's get back to it.
And I think that's going to be a really positive impact for a lot of people, because I feel like with the RNG.
Oh, wait, we got elaboration. I thought it was just a joke. It's permanent content, and you will have to do a component of it in August. Oh, if you want the best rewards. I see. So it was a yes to both still. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Maybe slightly regretting going all in on my Avengers team. Nah, I still got to beat Karate Man at that. 5 revives, that's what I gotta do, and he did in 6. Oh, God.
There's a layer of frustration that it feels outside of your control. And that is the nature of incursions, that RNG is an integral part of that experience. But I feel like once summoners have a feeling that they are more in control of their own fate, it'll be a different story. So I'm really looking forward to people getting their hands on that.
Absolutely. Well, I'll probably be back sometime in July to talk more in detail
about
that quest.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really exciting, especially anything brand new in terms of quest concepts, etc. I think people will love to see that info. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's take a look here. I believe this might be the first time, but it's unchanged. So this is how you are going to chase your 6-star, where you're going to get those currencies. If you are like myself and not up to the task of chasing 7 stars for this Deathless Vision adventure, this Deathless Champion adventure, please take a look at this chart here. It's unchanged. It's been the same for each of the previous champs, but
this really isn't that bad for a 6-star. I think I missed it, or maybe it wasn't said. What title progression do you have to be to qualify for the 6-star Deathless? Because these aren't that bad to do, even from like a, I don't know, the 600,000 loyalty. That, I'm trying to think about how long that takes to accrue from like a newer player perspective, but the 30,000 trophy tokens, the 8,500 glory, the artifacts, that stuff's not that bad. Even coming from like a fairly new account. On a serious note, can we please nerf Hawkeye? Wow. There's too much of an advantage with a character like that breaking the game. Jesse, I can't believe you're coming from my Hawkeye. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, man. All right, anyway, let's continue.
You know that there's some goodness there. Cool. All right, we have a very important announcement to make.
Before we get to that, I was actually surprised how many summoners opted into buying these 6-stars. It's a very big number. Interesting. Okay.
That's only an announcement to some people, I think. But did you know, and maybe you're hearing it for the first time ever here now,
What?
that Beta Ray Bill is coming to the contest. What?
What is the contest? Just kidding.
I know, an overwhelming hush falls over the audience as everybody is just beside themselves with this unexpected news. So, some of you, those of you who are in the know and want to be completely connected to everything, you already know I should be following the official Marvel Contest of Champions.
We might skip ahead here. I'm curious if this is more... Because Beta Ray Bill stuff, that's really cool that he's coming. A lot of people psyched about it, I get it. But again, for the sake of time here, we don't want to just watch the whole thing. That was a huge section there with Crash. That was awesome. The double track event. How much do we care about this, you guys? I don't know if we play this one out or not. Starts June 7th, 3-month event, not 3x. Oh, well, okay, never mind. We should play. I forgot because this is how you're gonna get better. But all right, I jumped the gun. Let's actually we'll hear this out.
That's not what I want to do. I want to bring you into the fold and get you excited for things happening in the contest, but I would be doing you a disservice if I did not showcase this very unique opportunity to acquire a very high level champion here. You're going to get a 7-star through this summer double track, again, similar to how we operated with Morbius. So let's take a look because there are some changes. This summer double track event will start on June 7th. That's this Friday. It will run all 3 months. 3 straight months here. So it is a 3-month event. You will not be able to acquire 3 one-month event passes. The only option is to get 3-month events. So if you come at this a week late, you can still get that 3-month pass. If you come at it a month late, you can still get the full 3-month pass because we do not want to lock you out of your opportunity if you had the desire to chase Beta Ray Bill. John, you mentioned a little bit about the context of change yesterday. Can you kind of add a little to things here?
I think you basically said it. First of all, I do not have the same qualms as you. Please buy this thing. The better that these initiatives do, the more of them that we can do.
Exactly.
And
You know, I mean, listen, I get no money from this, so I'm not going to encourage you to buy it, but I'm also not going to encourage you to buy it. The thing about this is I will say for those that do spend moderately, this is one of the better values. If you're trying to figure it out, because it can be confusing. There's so many things you can spend money on. What's actually worth it? I will tell you this is one of those things that as long as you have the extra means to do so, this would be worth it. So I don't know if the champ's good. Zero info on that or anything like that, but just in case you wanted an unbiased perspective of, hey, is it actually worth it or not? It more than likely would be worth compared to the vast majority of things that are for sale. You know, there's just to cover some of the other good stuff before we move on, like the $5 monthly card for units, the sigil, those are great values. This is like, you know, right in line with that stuff. So yeah. Don't feel like you have to, because I'm not, as you guys know, but yeah, I'm honestly so surprised that they're doing it with such a highly sought after, highly requested champion. The moment we saw the teaser, that was the first thing I thought, that it was going to be, you know, similar to Morbius, but it's kind of crazy that that's actually what's happening. Because you got to think, like, Kabam, surely they would make $1 bazillion off of, like, the, you know, the crystal sales and stuff, and maybe they still do, but, like, man. This is the best value for money in the game. There is no question, by a fair margin. Okay, according to Crash. All right, let's. Oh, real quick, I wanted to read. Where was it? Red Dog saying, "I'm silver 1. 600,000 loyalty would take me about 2 to 3 months." Okay, that times out with kind of the release cadence of the Deathless Champs too.
the Morbius double track went really well last year, and so this year we came to it and we wanted to do it again, and we were talking about which champion it should be.
Yeah.
And we said, how cool would it be if it's one of the most requested champions right now? So I hope everyone's hyped about that. Yeah, so we decided to make it a single double track. I've been calling it the Battle Ray Beta Pass.
Nice.
And the reason for that is, like you said, it's so that if someone comes in late, they don't get locked out. Last year, if you came in during the second month, there was literally no way to get that initial token. Now you can still get this this double track and make it to the end. If you come in late enough, you obviously will have to spend some money to catch up, but it basically makes it more accessible to people.
Yeah, there are still catch-up mechanics. I also wanted to take a second to call out Duskasi, who says, birthday on the 7th, Yahoo. Happy early birthday to you. Make sure you get in there and get yourself a summer double track. Okay, some more additional changes or just, details here. The gold track is available to everyone, as it so often is, but the plat track's what's available for purchase. You get a five additional bonus crystals if you purchase this pass through the web store, so something to consider there. There are weekly boosts.
Excuse me, you guys. I have to go to the web store to collect my free crystal real quick. Thanks for the reminder, Jax. Damn this stupid web store and its free crystal temptations. Interrupt this important announcement to claim a free daily crystal. You guys should all do the same thing real quick. And okay, claimed.
Events that allow you to catch up one day. That is something that's not brand new by any means. The last one of these dual track passes have this approach. It allows you to catch up even if you jump in to things late here. To those of you who have the plat pass, the paid pass, you will get 2 days to catch up each week. And if you complete all 3 months, you can get yourself a Beta Ray William. And I'm very excited for him to come to the contest. Space Horse representation's been lacking, so I'm pumped for that as well. So I hope you guys are excited about that. Please sound off in chat right now if you are excited. Of course, we told you leading into this stream that the giveaway would be 10 of these summer double tracks to 10 lucky people. Now you know why that is exciting as all heck.
Make sure you type in giveaway, exclamation mark giveaway to enter the giveaway. Just kidding, don't actually do that.
I hope you are pumped up for it. We will be doing that giveaway in just a moment here. John, before we dive into that giveaway, do you have any additional things you want to add about Beta Ray Bill or the summer double track event?
No, I think you said pretty much it all. I'm very excited for it. If I don't win, well, I guess I can't enter the.
Do you have your phone?
Thing.
You can
no,
enter.
I don't have my phone on me. So I guess I will be buying it as soon as it comes out.
Oh my goodness. Again, this is a reward for hard work. In a sense, right? You have to be dedicated for 3 months, but the barrier to entry to acquiring a 7-star through this method is very low compared to a lot of other methods. I think Morbius was kind of the first time that you joined us on a show to discuss more.
We're going to skip ahead a little bit. I've never entered one of those giveaways, and I will not just because people say it's rigged. Okay, I guess that's the giveaway code. This is probably the end of it if they're doing the giveaway right now. Just kind of maybe a little bit of banter going on, which, again, is great. Oh, there we go. My YouTube can't even keep up. It's great, but for the sake of time, that's where we're going to wrap up the little review there. Someone was also saying to go to the store and claim the rank up daily thing. Crash, what's the deal with this? Because some people were saying they get the 7-star shards for free. Was that just like a temporary upon release bug where it was always supposed to be this for free? Because this makes sense to get for free, but some people were like, "Nah, I got the 100 7-star shards without buying anything." Like they're swapped in position. I assume it's a bug, but I'll go ahead and claim this, and I'll take the little bit of ISO. Got shards again today. Wow, so it's not just like a wow. Okay, what the hell, man? Like, I gotta get some shards. What the? Only if you're Valiant do you get 7? I mean, I am Valiant. Oh, I see. Someone else was saying I get 6-star shards for free at Paragon. Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, this is some BS, but okay, whatever. It's funny. Free is free until you realize other people are getting better free. Not to be confused with Butterfree, one of the best starting Pokemon. But when other people are getting better free things than you, technically, even though it's only by a very small amount, technically, the only thing that I'm getting for free is left behind. You know, again, it doesn't matter here, but like, imagine it was something crazier. Anyway, I don't actually care that much. It would be nice, but whatever. I don't think it's a bug. I think Live Ops is testing different configurations. I see. I see. I see the configuration I got is, okay. Okay, I see. Speaking of giveaways, the only thing I ever entered a giveaway for was one time, Kabam related giveaway at least, is one time there was something on Twitter. There was some kind of giveaway and you just entered by replying. It was like your favorite champion or something. And I did it not to enter the giveaway, but I actually won. And I was just like, give it to someone else. I don't please give it to someone else. It's gonna look too rigged. So I actually did win one of those. If it makes you feel better, I also got the worst ones. Somehow this does make me feel better. No, just kidding. Okay, so far, I would say that stuff. This next Saga seems pretty cool. I like a lot of the changes. I like a lot of the graphical things. I can already tell. I'm not gonna like one of the champs coming next month, just because of all the multi-hit stuff. But the other fella there, Arcade, seems pretty cool. Oh wait, alphabetical order. Yeah. Oh nope. There we go. Arcade here. This dude is kind of wild, it seems. But I'm pretty pumped to try this guy out. Tech champion, huh? I didn't realize what class he was. I didn't look when we were looking at the footage. My tech roster is already a little on the larger side. I mean, what am I talking about? It's not like I'm gonna get this guy as a 7-star anytime soon. But no, he just seems like a cool addition to the game in general. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of the changes, they don't seem to be the biggest changes ever, but stuff that makes it more accessible, and that's a good thing, I think. Yeah, the only thing I really have mixed feelings on is the getting 30 out of the 100 points towards getting 7-star Cap Marvel, just from like the track, the summer track or whatever it is. I don't think that's quite as interesting as getting it through, content and stuff, but fair enough. I'm sure most people don't really care and they just want to be able to get that stuff, and yeah, at the end of the day, it doesn't have that much of an impact on things for me. BG, speaking of the Daily Crystal, when are you opening those? Somewhat soon. Believe it or not, Crashed has something to do with these crystals, even though he might not realize it. I don't think I ever explained my plans to anyone, Crashed included, even though he's got a little bit of a hand in it. I do need to open them somewhat soon, though. Yeah. How many am I sitting on at the moment? Let's find out. Let's see. Daily Valiant. 137 of these guys. It's a lot. I can't get past Arcade looking so much like a skinny Kingpin, even his attacks are similar. He gives me a lot of strange feelings when looking at him. The immediate vibe that I get, there's two things. One is like some PB Herman kind of thing. And then the other is, I'll pull up a picture. The other one is, here we go. Here's this little, this kid right here. Hold on, wait for it. Oh god, this is kind of a small image, but this is from Problem Child 2. Where this kid, I remember him wearing a white suit, and this kid was a menace. And I'm not talking about Dennis the Menace. I'm talking about a real menace. This kid was a psycho from what I recall. It's a pretty good movie, though, from what I remember, but it's been so long. Anyway. He gives Joker vibes? Yeah, he does give some Joker vibes, you're right. Is this guy basically like the Joker of Marvel? I love Problem Child 1 and 2. Good movies. I honestly haven't seen Problem Child in 25 years or something. I think I only ever saw that movie on TV randomly. So I don't even know if I've seen it start to finish. I have no idea how it holds up today. I see the Riddler. Okay, yeah. He's a robot? What? This guy? He's no robot. Maybe you're talking about someone else. John, thank you very much for the 14 months saying hello, BG. I pulled 7-star Shuri a couple days ago. Hey, nice. Yeah, that's a great pull. That champ is so useful. Someone was actually just mentioning that they don't really see Shuri in Battlegrounds that much anymore. And yeah, like I was saying at the time, I still use my Shuri a bit in Battlegrounds, but she was never like, oh, I have to draft this champ. But just in like questing and stuff, I don't know, her type of utility. I mean, we saw it in Necropolis, and that should really say enough on its own. But her type of utility, she'll come back as I mean, I shouldn't even say come back because it's not like she left, but she'll return again and again is what I mean, for future content. So I think that's a great pull to have. So yeah, awesome. Just love that they kept Murder World, dude. I'm still so surprised by that. And pretty much exactly what Jack said, because yeah, you're not even killing opponents in this game, really. You're just knocking them out. Do you guys ever think we'll see fatalities in this game? No, just kidding. Dang, let me pop in the side quest real quick. This quest requires a Murder World ticket from the grand opening solo event in order to enter. See, like right here. Now I know that this is not part of the tech for this game. This is kind of what has to be done. Is you have to get the key, the entry key someplace else for this. And that alone is not necessarily a bad thing, I guess, but I don't know. It's just not the most intuitive thing to look for like a solo event when let's count the number of solo events there are. So first off, it takes you to alliance events first. I don't know if there's ever a time where they can do sort of like a smart detection of like, okay, I'm looking at a solo mode. I just tapped on this. It should take me to the solo events tab, but minor little gripe there. But maybe like a new player looks at this and they're like, you know, looking through. So there's 1, 2, 3 in this tab. And then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have 11 total. And okay, it's the grand opening one. And like, it's not that bad, right? It took, what, 30 seconds to find as I'm going slowly, pretending like I'm a new player. But But yeah, I don't know. There still feels like it's it feels like it's you know, they're working with the system the best they can. But then you also have to go here in this tab. I don't know the exact like best if you could just design it from scratch how that would look. But hopefully they continue to iterate and improve a little bit. Because once upon a time, these objectives did not exist. So the side quests, they did used to be simpler. Yeah, anyway. The key is free. Claim it in your in-game mailbox. Well, let me go look at the event. Grand opening. Should look at how to get points first. Win fights in any game mode, excluding practice mode, using hashtag House of Mirrors or hashtag Clarity Tagged Champions to earn points. Bonus points when using certain champs. Okay, so now again, thinking about newer players, they're like, what does this even mean? What do these hashtags mean? And then there's like all this space where if I was trying to develop this, what I would do is I would take a look at players' accounts and I would take a look at the champs that they have filtered by House of Mirrors or Clarity Tagged Champions, and I would just show like the top 5 and say like example champions in your roster kind of deal. And I would have them just right here in all this blank space so that people will be like, oh, okay. And then, you know, they could probably figure out how to, you know, sort and find more as they get more into the game and stuff. But at least they would have an idea of like, oh, okay, I have some of those. I can use some of those. I don't know. Maybe it's so complicated because does that actually stunt someone's learning process of being able to figure it out on their own if they're handed that info? I don't know. But that's what I would think to do at least. And of course, all that takes dev time, and that's people would argue, oh, don't put dev time towards that, put it towards other things, and that's fair. But also, these side quests have been around for a very long time. Tags have been around for a very long time. Feels a little clunky. Feels like there could be ways to do it better. BG, do you like loud farts? Here we go. We got the important questions now. Do you like loud farts or do you prefer the silent killers? Loud and proud, baby. Let her rip. I mean, I don't know. Depends on the situation, I guess. Likewise, feel a lot better now, and they're only going to get better. Yeah, I'm happy that they recognize it and they're working towards making it better. That's I don't know. Sometimes that's all you can really ask for in like the immediate short term, you know, because some games they'll be like, you know, they won't even acknowledge any sort of issues. The level of communication from these live streams, it's great. It's so good. It's not to be taken for granted. BG, you're free to play, yes. Loud farts are best to dissolve crowds. Perfect for introverts. Wow. Okay. I don't know that there's a ton to discuss. Like, this was all really good stuff, but we kind of discussed it throughout the parts of the stream that we watched. A little bit of a recap. Horse Thor through the summer premium track program, whatever it's called. The next version of Nightcrawler that we have here is going to be Cap Marvel movie, and there's going to be some changes there. Not going to have to do incursions, but incursions is also becoming easier. Alliance Wars, the solo Alliance War thing, they're going to try to make that feel a little bit more like Alliance War experience, which we'll never get there because it's Alliance Wars, right? It's not solo wars, but still cool. I still liked that last time, so should be good this time too. The Deathless piece new Everest content coming in August that is going to be permanent content, but also to get the best rewards, you have to do it in August. And we don't know what that looks like yet. Battlegrounds, more info coming in a future live stream, but that's going to be easier to progress in, I guess. Oh, that's right. The only thing that I really didn't like was that you got to do the objectives every other day. I prefer that on like a weekly cadence, but kind of a minor thing at the end of the day too. So, oh, all in all, pretty good stuff coming. If I have 96 runestones, am I out of luck to get the rest for 7-star Nightcrawler? Should I just spend it on something else now? Can someone help? If you got everything that's currently available this month, yes, you could technically spend money. I think there's offers for it, but they do convert into 7-star shards. So there is that. If you didn't necessarily want to, you know, spend them on like a lesser version or something. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. If you missed some of the earlier events, BG, you should spend your Mysterium that you're capped on a reset today. Oh, good shout. Okay, pretty much same stuff. Meant to click this one first. Scoop these up. And I'll leave it alone for now, as far as the rest of that goes. Crystals at the bottom, BG? Oh, wait, what? Aha. 34 days, so you only get this the one time, huh? Okay. Oh, this bug is still here where you can't hold your finger down on it. Son of a... Okay. Those are the Cap Marble ones? Yeah. So, the 7-star is a 0.3% chance. As wild as what I'm about to say is, it is still true. This is not that bad for a free chance. It's so low, but the fact that, yeah, these are free at least, that's... We've seen worse. Gold pool, I believe, is 0.1. The old Grandmaster crystals, I believe, when they were first introduced, was 0.29, which is basically 0.3, but technically still worse. And you had to spend many units on those. Talk about some wild times. But you'll be able to buy a dime stack 3 times. Oh yeah, that's true. So this is, even though it's 34 days, that'll reset each month, huh? Okay. But I got a 7-star jugs from 10 crystals. Ooh, pretty dang good. 7-star domino, nice. Okay, I mean, I don't know. I think we kind of just wrap things up here. It's a little late. Again, there's not a whole lot to talk about. It was kind of explained throughout the stream, so. I'll just wrap things up here, you guys. Dang, a bunch of you guys are getting 7 stars, though. Now I'm seeing it's like 5 people in the chat saying they got 7 stars. It's pretty dang good. Crystal opening? Not today. Hold on. Let's do a little check. Yeah. A little short of the 60k mark, but I'm sure I'll get that and maybe a little bit more in the 12 days remaining. 800 Titan shards away. Have a good night, Brian and crew. Crashed. Appreciate you hanging out, man. And great job on the live stream. Seriously, the live streams are great. I will mostly never watch them live, but I love being able to go back and refer to them and pull info that way and stuff. I love that you guys do it, and I hope it doesn't get cut from, you know, what you guys are able to do there, because I think there's a lot of value to it. So hope you guys continue to do the live streams. They're great. Good job with it. Okay. Yeah, I think this is where we call it a night, though, you guys. I think it's a good time too. So, I'll be back tomorrow pretty early. Very early. Probably about 12 hours from now, give or take. Maybe about 12, 13 hours from now. Roughly around noon time, give or take, you know, like I said, a couple hours. Roughly around noon Pacific time. And yeah, I'll see you guys then. Ah, my eyes. Oh, Clarissa. You're right. My head is kind of shiny, so I understand it. Kind of blinding. Means I put a good shine on it earlier. That new hot water heater they put in. It's not bad. Okay. Anyway, I'll see you guys. Oh, wait. Shout out to Oxygen for being tonight's biggest D. Oxygen, thank you very much. No BG, I forbid you from streaming at 5 a.m. Well, I'm going to forget you said that. Thank you to everyone else, too, not just Oxygen. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Back in some Battlegrounds tomorrow. All right. Night, everyone.